What's up, y'all? Let's get into this Travers here. I gotta apologize. I'm not in a very good mood today. Let's just say I'm a little disappointed with someone's job performance. At any rate, we got the Travers coming up here Saturday. We're going to see Essential Quality, of course, vie for Horse of the Year. Horse of the Year. He's going to be back in it. Midnight Bourbon's returning after that big spill that he had. No Paco Lopez. I guess he don't want no more of that. So got Ricardo Santana Jr. on him instead. Keep Me in Mind is back in it here. Dynamic One returns. And then we got King Fury making a return too after that scratch going into the Derby. So let's get into it. The number one Midnight Bourbon. As I was just saying, switched to Ricardo Santana Jr. Trained by Stephen Asmussen. His last outing was in the Haskell. For those of you that remember that one, took a terrible looking tumble, but luckily the horse was okay. Jockey was okay. Hot Rod Charlie, I guess, clipped his heels. And that was it. They pulled him down. So Midnight Bourbon technically didn't finish. I mean, I put him in as a DNF in my book. So that was a non-race for him, even though it was a race. He's coming off of a tumble, coming off of a race where he ran a pretty decent opening mile. I thought he went a little bit too fast for my liking for him in that race. But at any rate, he's back out here. I still kind of think he's more of a miler, but he's out here to go this mile and a quarter here at Saratoga. So got to give him a shot. Definitely like the jockey a little bit better, Ricardo Santana Jr. I think it's possible he could get a win, but like I said, I'm just not really sure if he's cut out for this. Next, Essential Quality, Derby favorite, 2-year-old champ. Essential Quality, last out, Jim Dandy. All right. The Jim Dandy, in my opinion, was a bit disappointing, I could say, for Essential Quality. Now I know he's a slow starter, and he always comes off the pace. In the Derby, that's what kind of ruined him because the pace was fast, and he may just come back, but he wasn't able to get there. But I don't know. Just something seemed, he just kind of seemed extra slow in the Jim Dandy. I mean, the time wasn't bad, 149. I just really don't know. So at any rate, that gives him his 2 in a row. So his 2 wins in New York, going for this win at Saratoga after getting the win in the Belmont and running 4th in the Derby. But I really don't know how to say it. He just kind of seemed tired, I guess you'd say. At any rate, the number 3, Keep Me in Mind. He's at 6-1. They have him. Oh, by the way, they have Midnight Bourbon at 9-2. Essential Quality, they got 4-5. I'm pretty sure it's going to be lower than that. Yeah, lower than that. Keep Me in Mind. Rosario's on Keep Me in Mind. He ran 2nd in the Jim Dandy. He really gave Essential Quality a run for his money in that race. I really thought, it kind of looked like he might be able to get him. Essential Quality really was like, oh, no, you don't. The horse shows the ability he's had to go ahead and edge out a close win, which he's done a few times. But Keep Me in Mind really gave him a run for his money. They switched him from Cohen over to Rosario. So that's a big jump up on the jockey for Keep Me in Mind. They got Rosario on him again. So I think that definitely bodes well for him. Very good workout times. 47 in the mud, 47, 46, 47, 46. There was a bullet. Very good workout time. So he's got some sprint in him. Don't know if he's going to be able to handle this distance. He's got Laubon. Grandfather's Victory Gallop. So, Belmont winner on his mother's side. But I don't really know if that's going to be enough to get Smile and a Quarter here. Number 4, Dynamic One. All right, if you guys remember, Dynamic One was the one that was second in that weird wood that was really, 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 really slow. So he was a second place horse in that one. I don't know, horse, the winner's slipping my name right now. I mean, it'll come to me. Not important. Not that great of a horse anyway. But anyway, we got Dynamic One out here. After running second in the Wood, 18th in the Kentucky Derby. Nothing to speak of there. But then they made a change. Put Irad Ortiz on him. Come back, run the Curlin Stakes. Gets a win. So, hey, what do you know? Gets a win with Irad Ortiz. Nothing to write home about. A 149. He can run a little bit. I mean, it's the same time that Essential Quality did the Jim Dandy in. So, Dynamic One, I think you really want to consider. The Irad Ortiz Jr., gotta like that. Horse is out of Union Rags. Grandfather on his mother's side, Smart Strike. So, some distance, some distance up in there. Decent pedigree. Trained by Todd Pletcher. God, why can't I remember the name of that other horse? At any rate, I'm going to have to look it up in a minute. But at any rate, trained by Todd Pletcher. Like I said, the switch to Irad Ortiz Jr. Might be able to get this distance here. So keep me in mind, or sorry, not keep me in mind. Dynamic One, you might want to keep him in mind. Next, Miles D. Now, Miles D ran that Curlin Stakes 2, ran second, length behind him. He's a Curlin horse, by the way, so you got to like that distance-wise, along with the Bernardini on his mother's side, trained by Chad Brown. 12-1, I mean, I like that. And Flavian Pratt is riding him. He's having a decent year, even though he's... I guess he's trying to re-impress the horse racing guys because of what he did back in that Derby race. But at any rate, he ran second in that race. Horse was coming off a win and maiden special weight before that. So 2 good starts from this horse coming out in his past 2 races. Like I said, sired by Curlin. Bernardini's his grandfather. Chad Brown's a trainer. Pratt is the jockey. 12-1. Those are some nice odds. Those are some nice odds for this horse. I don't know if I'm going to play him or how to play him. Got to kind of look at it. But those are nice odds for this horse. Because I don't think he's that bad. I mean, hey, only a length off in the Curlin. He's still kind of green, I think. But hey, you can't always just say, oh, well, the horse, he's never run up against the big boys before or whatever. That's really nonsense when you're talking about actual racing. I mean, everybody's got to face the big boys at some time, and undefeated horses, win big races against big boys all the time. So, at any rate, I'd want to keep Miles D in mind there. Kind of thinking he's named after Miles Davis, too. So, any of those Jazz fans out there, you might want to keep an eye on this one. Next, Mask Parade. 8-1 on this one, ridden by Miguel Mena. This horse was third in the Jim Dandy, behind Essential Quality and Keep Me in Mind. 2 lengths off, so I guess he was still kind of competitive, but not really in there. Before that, he had to win the Ohio Derby. He had a big win on Derby Day at Churchill Downs and an optional claimer. So this kind of where he made his claim to fame. That was still his best race of his career, so he's going to be looking to recapture that one. Probably, I'm thinking, going to be near the front of the pace along with Midnight Bourbon. There's no speed in this race. No speed. All right, no real speed. Plus, they're running in New York, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's kind of a slow pace, but I don't think it's going to be that slow because we got Miguel Mena, and for those who remember, he doesn't know how to ride slow. As far as my memories of him. In the past, and other horses he's ridden, he has front runners and can't ever pace them, even though this horse isn't a front runner. And Ricardo Santana Jr., he's no chump. He's got some courage. He's got some guts. He's not the most talented guy, but he gets his wins because he goes for it. So I think the pace will be all right. But anyway, Mask Parade I think will be up there on the pace. Not expecting this horse to be able to get the distance too much, though. Like I said, third in that Jim Dandy. He won the Ohio Derby, which I don't remember the last time a Ohio Derby horse that was any good did anything else. Somebody's probably going to correct me in the comments there with somebody that I'm leaving out, but I don't think I'm leaving anybody out. It's not a big race. But anyway, he did get the win there. Going to have some positioning, so you might want to take that as an angle on this horse. 8-1. Going to have some positioning on a pace that probably not going to be too fast, I don't think. But I don't really think I like him too much. And then number 7, we got King Fury. This horse, I think, was very overrated coming out of the Lexington Stakes. However, he was named after Tyson Fury, and a lot of people like the horse because of his closing abilities. And I think that was going to draw people towards him on Saturday. He came out in that Ohio Derby, ran second behind Mask Parade, and that was 1 1/8 miles. But he ran second in that one, and then for some crazy reason, they put him in this Saratoga Derby turf race. He got smoked in that one, 8 lengths off, 10th. I don't know what people are thinking sometimes. I mean, question making for decision makers. I mean, decision making is a very important thing. And for the life of me, I cannot figure out why some people make dumb decisions when they've got, these other people's and horses' careers in their destiny. I don't get the whole turf thing. I've seen lots of crazy decisions of owners not running a horse because they're mad, or running him in something they shouldn't be in, and I don't know. But he ran him in this turf race. I think that just confuses the horse doing stupid stuff like that. But he's going to be back on the dirt. Jose Ortiz is going to be riding him here, so he knows the track well. Didn't get to look up. I didn't see how many Travers wins he has. I'm pretty sure he's got a Travers win in there. It's not coming to me right now. But at any rate, he knows the track well. So that's something to consider. And especially if the pace is too slow, if they do one of those things where they're choking the horses out, it really could help a horse like King Fury. That's kind of how he ended up winning that Lexington. So now looking at this pace, only 7 horses in this one. By the way, King Fury 15-1, big odds. I really think there's going to go down because people like the horse, and like I said, he's named after Tyson Fury. So that'll probably come down. Getting into the pace though, like I was saying, I don't think it's going to be too fast. I will think they're going to get 47-second half mile. Just because you got Santana and Miguel Mena, I think, are probably going to be on that lead. But these horses don't really like to run up front. Even Midnight Bourbon's done it a couple times. It's not really his style, just running against slow paces, which this is going to be. So he's going to go to the lead, I'm thinking. I think, Mass Parade, I think, up there. Neither of these guys, I think, are that great at really riding from the front. So I'm really expecting the pace to kind of fall apart. I'm expecting the closers in this one and just about all the rest of the horses, I think, are going to be sitting a decent amount off. Maybe Miles D might be a little bit closer. But I think it's going to be, they're going to be sitting kind of off the pace. I don't know who's going to go first. I think it's really going to make the whole difference with everything is who jumps out there first. But being that this race is 1.25 miles, I'm thinking that Essential Quality is just going to have too much stamina for the competition in this one. I mean, he showed he's a distance horse, in the Derby, he was facing much faster horses. In the Belmont, he's able to take care of business going the 1.5 miles. This race, I think if somebody else were in there a bit faster, could give him some competition. But I hate to pick the favorite, of course. But I tell you what I think is going to happen. I'm not just trying to, pull something out of my ass and say this long shot's going to win just because people think it's cool. I think Essential Quality is going to win this race. The play in this race, I think, is going to be the exact or the try. And that's what's interesting here. I've got the 4 Dynamic 1, Irad Ortiz Jr. in there running second. Of course, everybody knows I like the jockey. Todd Pletcher on this one. Maybe they can even sneak the win. So, if you're looking for somebody to upset the favorite, I guess that would be my one, Dynamic 1. I think he's going to run second, though. I don't really know if he's got enough speed along with stamina to get this distance ahead of Essential Quality. But, it's horse racing. Anything could happen. Somebody could step on Essential Quality's foot. Who knows? Stumble out of the gate, whatever. Anyway, I got Dynamic 1 in there a second. Number 3, I'm going with the 7, King Fury. I do like him as a closer, like the jockey, Jose Ortiz. Just don't think this horse is really fast enough to be able to keep up with the other ones. Keep Me in Mind, I think, will probably be a bit too close to the pace, not move in time, and I think he's just not really going to be able to. I think he'd have to steal this one. I don't think he's got enough to really go this distance. So even though he's got Rosario aboard, I just don't think he's got the horse for this 1.25 miles here. So I think he'll be able to be in there competitive, but I got Keep Me in Mind in there running fourth. So 2, 4, 7, 3. That's my picks for this one. Like I said, going with the favorite. Definitely going to look at an exacta, probably a try, of course. I don't think this is, people call it the Graveyard Champions. He's 2-year-old champion, but Essential Quality has shown that he's by no means like some awesome, hands down 3-year-old horse of the year. He's just not. He's not. So he's still got something to prove. I think everybody knows that. That Jim Danny win was unimpressive. I don't expect him to run a very fast race in this one, but I do expect him to get the win.